South Carolina Republican Congressman Ralph Norman. So good morning, Congressman. So senators voted for the 8th time, failing to reach the 60-vote threshold needed to pass the continuing resolution. I mean, do you think Democrats will ever come around and vote on the budget that they already voted to approve and Joe Biden signed into law?
I think when they hear enough from their constituency that enough is enough, you can't hijack America just because you got a political game that you're playing. Chuck Schumer is scared to death of a primary, and it's the Schumer shutdown for a reason. And they think they can fool the American people to think otherwise. Look, 1.5 trillion to illegals, to stop people who are able-bodied Americans from going to work. It makes no sense. So when the Democrat constituency called their senator and say enough's enough, then you'll see it open back up. Until that time, it's not going to happen.
So, yeah, we know Republicans are also digging their heels in, really, with House Speaker Mike Johnson refusing to call the House back to D.C. until Democrats vote to end this shutdown, as both sides really remain stubborn with their stances. What do you think it's going to take, bottom line, to get more Democrats on board and vote?
Well, the only thing, they're going to have pressure from the people that elected them. And Mike Johnson's exactly right. There's nothing for us to negotiate. We're not giving them $1.5 trillion of borrowed money to pay illegals. It's just not going to happen. So they will decide what they want to do. And look, Republicans are united. We're not giving in on this. And they can play games as long as they want. The other thing, too, I would point, they underestimated Donald Trump. Donald Trump, they don't have the cards, as he told Zelensky. And the Democrats do not hold the cards. And as soon as they realize that, I think they will get the 60 votes in the Senate needed to pass the CR.
Now, I know a lot of members in both chambers are looking to make sure this never happens again. I know Senator Rick Scott's got an amendment or a law that would basically do automatic CRs 14 days at a time until a new budget's passed. You've got a proposed constitutional amendment that you just reintroduced that would ban members of Congress from getting paid during a shutdown, and it would also forbid them from getting back pay when the government reopens. I mean, how do you think that would prevent future shutdowns and hold lawmakers accountable?
Well, can we get the votes for both these amendments? Probably not. Politicians should not get paid. I mean, not only are they running up the deficit on both sides, we shouldn't get furloughed back pay. In the American business arena, you don't get paid if you don't go to work. And politicians should not be the exception on that. So I don't know how you prevent insanity from happening with the body of Democrats that we serve with. They're Marxist socialists, and they will do anything that benefits them politically. But the only thing they don't understand, this is not benefiting them.
Yeah, I think it'd be better if you actually just didn't take taxes from the people on the days that the government is shut down. Then we benefit from it.
That's great. I'll take that for a few weeks. So I want to get to this because President Trump, however, he is vowing to make sure that U.S. troops are still paid throughout the shutdown. He even says a generous donor is volunteering to keep the money flowing. Take a listen.
He said, if there's any money necessary, shortfall, for the paying of the troops, then I will pay it, meaning he will pay it. How about that? I said, look, we're not going to need it. We're going to take care of our troops. But this was a position that's being forced upon us by Democrats. And all they have to do is just sign a piece of paper saying we're going to keep it going the way it is. There's nothing. It's not like it shouldn't even be an argument.
Yeah, today would have been the first day the military missed a paycheck. What does that say about Democrats' desire to keep the government closed at all costs?
Well, it just shows, two things. One, they underestimated Donald Trump, and they underestimated the patriotism of those who are willing to pay the 1.3 million active enlisted men in this country that are serving our country. And it just shows they're a different party now. They're the party of Mandami in New York, and they're Marxist socialists, and they'll do anything. But the American people are seeing what's going on, and there's a reason 77 million people voted to oust insanity that the Democrat Party now represents.
Yeah, we'll see if it ends. I think it's going to be the second longest shutdown in history, at least. All right, Congressman Ralph Norman from the great state of South Carolina, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Information. truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.